Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Tamarind former prisoner escapee held in Portland. Nathan Whittle, who escaped from the Tamarind Farm Adult Correctional Center in St. Catherine on Thursday, was captured at a house in Port Antonio, Portland on Friday morning. The 25-year-old, who was serving a sentence of 2 years and 6 months for illegal possession of firearm and ammunition, was among a group of inmates working on the farm under supervision on Thursday morning when he ran off and escaped custody. According to the police, Whittle, who is from Orange Hill, Brownstown, St. Anne, was held in a targeted raid at a house on King Street in Port Antonio just after 11 a.m. on Friday. The police are carrying out further investigations. Triple murder in Salt Spring in 24 hours. A man was gunned down in Salt Spring, St. James on Friday morning, a third murder in 12 hours which has left the vital community on edge. He is Anthony Forbes, otherwise called Plateau of Argomi, a mason of Flower Hill in the parish. Reports were that Forbes and his son were at home about 1:10 a.m. when armed men first opened the front of their dwelling and opened fire, hitting both occupants of the house. The assailants then made their escape. Forbes succumbed to his injuries at hospital while his son was admitted. Forbes' death comes just after 12 hours after a couple was gunned down in the community on Thursday afternoon. They have been identified as 22-year-old Imani Jarrett of Flower Hill and 30-year-old Odin Smith. Reports are that they were shot after they were dragged from a car by men armed with rifles and handguns about 1 p.m. When the police arrived, the bodies of both individuals were found a short distance from each other. During the attack, classes were in session at the Salt Spring Primary and Infant School, where reports saying that students and teachers covered in fear on the desk and tables after explosions were heard. It is theorized that the target was Smith, who was on a murder charge stemming from an incident that took place in Westmoreland in 2020. He was scheduled to appear in court in November on the matter. Reports as well are that he was a suspect in a murder that occurred in September this year. Second man pleads guilty in the murder of Paulswell infant daughter and her mother. Another of the men charged in the murder and kidnapping of opposition lawmaker Philip Paulswell's infant daughter and her mother has pleaded guilty. Rashane Miller on Friday pleaded guilty to 2 counts of conspiracy to kidnap, 2 counts of accessory before the fact of murder, and 2 counts of misprision of felony. On Thursday, another accused, Richard Brown, pleaded guilty to 2 counts of murder and 2 counts of kidnapping. They are to be sentenced on November 15 in the Home Circuit Court. 2 other persons, a man and the alleged mastermind, Yoda Bradshaw, are charged in the case relating to the murder of 10-month-old Sahara Powell and her mother, Miss Patterson. The police had reported that the child and her mother were abducted and brutally killed and their bodies burnt and disposed of. The mother and daughter were abducted from their home on Gilmore Drive in St. Andrew on September 9. Opposition reiterates call for government to prioritize construction of Troy Bridge. Member of Parliament for Manchester North Western Michael Phillips and opposition leader Mark Golding have reiterated calls for the government to prioritize the construction of the Troy Bridge. The bridge, which collapsed in August 2021, borders northwest Manchester and southern Trelawney. Speaking during a tour of Manchester Northwestern on October 25th, Mr. Phillips underscored the danger residents have been facing due to the situation. Meanwhile, Mr. Golding said the lives of people living near the collapsed bridge are in jeopardy. He called on the government to take immediate action to remedy the situation.
The Prime Minister made a commitment in 2022, December, to come and visit the community of Troy/Northwest Manchester. Up to now, we are now in the 10th month of the year. Prime Minister has not yet come to visit the community, but the people of Manchester and Trelawney are actually suffering because of the lack of a bridge here. The river is not in full spate, but you can see the danger that persons would face trying to cross the bridge. We have had where children have fell in the river. There was a father who jumped in the river to try and save his own child. And the frustration is that it's something that should be an emergency should not have taken 2 years. As I was told by the National Works Agency, the procurement is still with the Ministry of Finance, who after 2 years is still trying to determine if this should be dealt with as an emergency. And if we are really to serve the people, we can't respond in the manner that the government is responding now.
The residents on both sides of of this river are dependent on a bridge in order to go to school or go to their workplaces. And what is there right now is a makeshift device made out of bamboo. But for elderly people and little children, it would be very dangerous for them to try it. And we have a makeshift pulley system to carry physical items across, obviously not of any great weight, but that is what the residents have had to turn them hand and make fashion, so to speak, to try and survive this situation. But, it clearly is something which needs to be addressed very quickly, because this is a vital route for the people living here in Northwest on the border with South Carolina. And the fact it has taken so long suggests to me that the government is not treating this as a priority because they don't happen to have this as one of their seats. This can't wait any longer, and I use this opportunity just to call on the government to prioritize this bridge and get it done. It needs to happen without further delay.
NCB warns about QR code scam at ABMs. The National Commercial Bank Jamaica Limited (NCB) is alerting the public about a QR code scam targeting users of its automated banking machine ABM. In a statement, NCB stated that fraudsters have been mounting posters inside its ABMs with a QR code claiming that customers can win over $1 million in cash and prizes by clicking on the link. This is a phishing scam. Phishing is a fraudulent attempt to obtain sensitive information, often through deceptive emails, messages, or in the case of QR codes, posing as a trustworthy entity. Unwitting customers can scan these codes or mingle it into providing their private banking information, such as their PIN and internet banking login details, which scammers then exploit to access accounts and misappropriate funds. We are deeply concerned about this new deceptive tactic and its potential impact on its customers, stated Dane Nicholson, head of the fraud prevention at NCB. It's essential that everyone to remember that NCB will never send unsolicited links or ask customers to share their private banking details outside of their secure banking platform. Fraudsters continue to be extremely creative in their tactics, so we urge customers to stop and think about that before they click on the links, scan QR codes, or give any personal or banking details, Nicholson added. NCB stated that this latest incident underscores that scammers employ various tactics, including sending deceptive SMS messages, crafting urgent or warning emails, and other methods designed to instill fear or urgency in the recipient. These tactics, the bank stated, are meant to rush individuals into making hasty decisions without verifying the authenticity of the requests. Customers are urged to be cautious and avoid clicking on links or scanning QR codes that lead to websites requesting banking information. NCB also encourages customers to report any suspicious activity or questionable material found inside or near ABMs. Our top priority is the safety and security of our customers' money. We are working closely with local law enforcement to address this issue and bring these fraudsters to justice, stated Nicholson. Please remember to subscribe, like, share,